Hey everyone, Schwab here to provide you with another recommendation slash review of the latest book that I've read, which is called Social Creature by Isabella Burton. Now, for those who have watched my videos before, you all know the spiel of I am not being paid by anybody, publisher, writer, agent, whoever, to review and recommend books. I am just wanting to share my love of reading with all of you and hopefully get others to read and we can become, talk about books and be cool together that way. So on that note, let's talk about Social Creature. Now I know that there's that old saying of don't judge a book by its cover. However, look at this cover. It's super cool and it's unique and different, so it drew my attention when I was at Target looking in the book section. So you should also definitely check out the Target book section if you haven't, because they have a lot of really cool unique finds in there, and they also have their own book club, which is cool. Anyways, I saw the really cool picture and I picked it up and I was like, what's this about? And so the back of the book compelled me to get it, and now I go on with my review. So the story follows this fast-forming friendship between Louise and Lavinia. They kind of have like this prince and pauper kind of situation, because Louise is a down on her luck writer who's working 3 jobs and can't seem to make ends meet, whereas there's Lavinia, who is like a Paris Hilton socialite kind of person. She's 23 years old. She doesn't seem to have a care in the world. She was in college, and she is taking like this long break so that way she can write this novel that she's writing, and she's living this very lavish lifestyle. And they meet by chance because Lavinia randomly finds Louise's SAT tutor slip, and she suggests that she tutor her younger sister on SAT stuff. And it turns into this all-nighter where Louise is with the younger sister because she is waiting for Lavinia to pay her. Lavinia feels bad because she had to stay the whole night, and so Lavinia decides she's going to take her under her wing, and so she invites her out to a party, and then that forms into more parties and social gatherings and things like that, and Louise gets sucked into this very elite, rich, luxurious lifestyle. So Lavinia is introducing Louise to this high society, and she takes her out to these glamorous parties, art openings, operas, book readings, etc., etc. And this is something that Louise is not accustomed to, and she immediately falls in love with this lifestyle and is just, wanting more and more and more, which who wouldn't, because it's a lot of elegant, fun parties. So Louise falls in love with this lifestyle, and then Louise and Lavinia just become closer and closer and closer in their friendship. And it's very quick forming. It's, not over a few decades or anything like that. It's like in a few months. At one point, they even get matching tattoos on their arms. It says more poetry, and they talk about these future plans that they have, and it's just a lot really quick. Okay, so to the point where Louise has become fully dependent on Lavinia, and because of this dependency, the friendship is kind of on shaky ground, because if you're fully dependent on somebody, there's the power struggle kind of thing too, of Lavinia is now in charge because she has all of the money and she has everything else, and it's just the friendship just turns toxic, and it's not healthy for either one of them, but they both refuse to let go. And so because of the shaky ground that they're on, their one argument kind of makes their friendship seem like it's going to just disintegrate and never come back to what it was. And Louise, because she is fully dependent on Lavinia, she is willing to do anything so that way she can maintain this friendship and maintain this newly accustomed lifestyle that she has. So that's pretty much the basis of the book. It's really exciting and interesting. While I was reading it, the 2 books that came to mind on what they're similar to, like in regards to theme and different aspects of the book. For me, I saw a lot of like The Great Gatsby, and I also saw a lot of You in the book. So The Great Gatsby is one of my favorite books of all time. If you have not read The Great Gatsby, you should add that to your list. You should have read it in high school, but you know, that happens. But Social Creature reminds me of Gatsby because of all the glitz and the glamour and the riches and the parties and just everything along those lines. They go to parties and they're every night, it seems, and they're not, you know, like the frat boy kegger parties. You know, this is the elegant parties where you're wearing white gloves and ball gowns and you get dressed up for, and there's booze everywhere and all kinds of things. But you know, it's a Gatsby party basically, and the Gatsby party, you know, while they are perceived as being very glamorous, you also know that there's like seedy stuff going on, and it's very similar to what's in the book. Other thing that I noticed a lot was the extremely wealthy have no cares about other people besides themselves. And they treat people like objects. You know, this is very similar to Daisy and how she treats Gatsby and everyone else in her life. You know, they're basically, you know, you use them and you throw them out. And that's very similar to how people are treated within novel. Everyone is very self-absorbed and they want to maintain their elite status, so they do a lot of shady things and they are not very nice people, so that way they can maintain this elite high society image of themselves. And they don't really have any concern about others, and you know, even their friends, they, you know, oh, you know, my friend's not here right now, but oh well, whatever. They don't really seem to care what's really going on in their lives. It's just so long as they make it to the next party or the next outing or whatever, that's what they're concerned about. And that's the same thing I feel like with Gatsby. The other book that it reminded me of is called You. For those not familiar with You, there is the book, which I highly recommend, and there's also a Netflix series. Both are really good. Book's better. But you should definitely check those out. But that story, for those who are familiar with it, it reminded me of Louise's desperation to be in Lavinia's life and inner circle. I think parallels with Joe Goldberg and his quest to be with Beck. Anyways, there are elements of suspense and creepiness to it, because both characters in both novels are very obsessed with their other person, whether that be Beck or Lavinia, and they will do anything in order to maintain that relationship, whether that be romantic or friendship-wise. And with Louise, you know, she wants to be within this high society, so she's going to do whatever she can to stay in it, and there's elements where she goes too far, and there's this creepiness to it. And it's very interesting because you see how her mind is working, and you see how she's trying to hustle everybody into believing her side of things, and she is working hard to do everything that she can to stay in the group, and stay within the elite. The book is really well written, and it's really quick read. I read it in probably 2 days. You should definitely check it out. You won't be disappointed if you're looking for a good suspenseful thriller type book. But that's all I have for today. If you like what you saw, please hit subscribe at the bottom there. Again, you can find Social Creature on Amazon, Target, any local bookstore, or at your library. I'll see you next time for my next review for 100 Bullets. Until then, keep on reading. Bye!